My girl Camille here.
Yeah.
So we're talking about parents empowered. They're saying, you got to have great activities. It's also a great time to bond. Tell me about what's going on here, Boondocks, that can help facilitate that.
Yeah, so we've got all the fun activities going on here. Everyone wants to come and play, and starting today, we have a special that's called our Bounce Back Pass.
Okay.
If you buy an unlimited pass, you spend an extra $10 a person, and you get a Bounce Back Pass to come back any day in the next 60 days, as long as Boondocks is open.
Now, is that promotion only a limited time, or how long is that going to happen?
Yeah, so we offer it through the summer. We don't have a specific end date yet, but it's going to be out for a while, and we're excited to get people coming and playing.
Yeah. Now, before we're going to dissect some of the activities. Before we talk about miniature golf, I noticed over there you still have water activities. Tell me a little bit about the bumper boats.
Yeah, so that's our bumper boats. When you get into the boats, you're actually in the boats, not in the water, so you're not swimming, but they do have squirters on there that spray water at you, so you do still get wet.
Now, how difficult is your miniature golf course? Is it for the expert person like Dan Evans, or is it for the novice like myself?
Oh, don't worry, it's for novices like you and me. Everyone can play and have a fun time.
And these activities too, you don't have to do all of them because you have a lot of activities. If you wanted to just do one, like a la carte, you could totally come in and go if you wanted to.
Absolutely, yeah.
Customer service, programs, reward systems, anything like that, and what's the website for more information?
Yeah, so right now we just have our Bounce Back Pass, and then we do our unlimited passes. You can come and have a fun time, and we hope you come back and have a great time another day.
Yep, we'll put a link on the website to theirs, fox13now.com. We got more coming back. It's education with Parents Empowered, it's entertainment with Boondocks, and it's information with Fox 13 News. Let's go, huh? Triple threat.
Uh-oh, triple threat.
Oh, no.
Look out.
It's going to get good.
By the way, I'm not a good golfer. In fact, the last time I tried it was probably, about 12 years ago.
You know what? I like to drive the golf cart.
Yeah,
Does
that's
that
fun.
count?
Oh, yeah, especially after hours, huh, Carrie? Is that your style?
Well, that's fun too, right? And a great morning to head out for a drive. This is a live look from the Old Mill camera. Looking west toward the Ochre Mountains, you can see we've got a few high clouds out there still, but otherwise a lot of sunshine to enjoy. Beautiful morning, and hopefully a comfortable one for you, with a lot of temperatures running higher than they were yesterday at this time. It's 39 in Logan, but it's low 40s in Park City, and along the majority of the Wasatch Front, we're starting out in the low 50s. In fact, 51 right now in Salt Lake City. It's 54 in Green River, near 60 degrees currently in St. George. And while we have some of those high clouds moving into the western half of the state, they're thin enough that we've got that sunshine peeking through, while skies are mostly clear in the east. So looks good everywhere. And it's going to be feeling like summer later this afternoon because of high pressure reflected on this map by the warmer colors that's continuing to build over the interior west. That keeps it dry for the time being, but by tomorrow that high pressure drifts south down into the Baja Peninsula, and that's going to allow a storm to be moving in from the Pacific Northwest. It's going to be weakening, and the brunt of it stays to our north, but it is going to send a cold front across the state that will knock the temperature back down. So enjoy the warm up while you can. In fact, this afternoon, it'll be the warmest weather we've had so far this year, with our temperature climbing up to 82 degrees in Salt Lake City. That comes pretty close to tying the record for today. In fact, record temperatures possibly tied or even broken across other parts of the state as well. You can see the most valleys will be in the 80s. It'll be in the low 70s in Park City. St. George will make it up to 93. Sunny in the south, partly cloudy in northwest Utah, but otherwise mostly sunny across the majority of the north. It'll become partly cloudy later tonight, and it's not going to get as cold tomorrow morning. So after a very mild evening, early tomorrow we'll only be dropping into the upper 50s along the Wasatch Front. Upper 40s in Logan and Park City, clear in the south, low temperature of 60 in St. George. And we're going to hang on to the warm weather at least through the first part of the weekend. Low 90s in St. George tomorrow, but by Sunday, that cold front will come through. There might even be a few showers as far south as St. George, with the temperature dropping near 80, which will still be a pretty warm start to next week. But by next Thursday, it gets hot again. You'll make it all the way back up near 90 by then. And for northern Utah, partly cloudy, warm and breezy tomorrow, high near 80. We'll drop into the mid-60s Sunday with a chance of some showers, isolated thunderstorms, and then we'll Warm up pretty quickly next week, near 70 by Wednesday, and Danny, all the way up near 80 degrees by next Thursday afternoon.
So that storm's not going to cool us down too much, but you get the best of every world as we go into the next 7 days. Good morning, everyone. Our roads haven't been too shabby this morning. For the most part, they've been smooth sailing, but it is turning busier, and I want to try to take you to some of those areas where we're seeing the most slowing. One of those is heading westbound on I-80 right before SR 202. This is prior to that Saltaire exit. We have 2 crashes there right now. So the right-hand shoulder is blocked off and also the left-hand shoulder. And we are starting to see a little bit of slowing as you're approaching this area. UDOT cameras are not working in this area, but I want you to be careful heading in that direction. That should be cleared up in the next hour or so. Also a new crash in Springville. This is along 350 South, heading southbound at 4th South, and that right turn lane is blocked right now. So be prepared for a little bit of traffic building in that area. But for the most part, take a look at this. Our drive times are looking good. Provo to 90th South, taking you 26 minutes. 90th South to Salt Lake, no problems. It's taking you 10 minutes. And Layton to Salt Lake City, my driver is heading in this direction. It's your normal 20 minutes, average interstate speed of roughly 66 miles per hour. Hey, stick with us. We've got more coming up right after the break.
What a night for 2 former high school football players in Utah in the NFL draft. First, it was Zach Wilson.
With the second pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU.
Zach is the highest BYU player ever taken in the NFL Draft and the highest drafted high school player from Utah, topping Logan's Merlin Olsen, who went number 3 to the Rams in 1962. He was one of the most productive quarterbacks in the country last season, leading the Cougars to an 11-1 record. Now he's ready to take his game to the next level with the Jets.
I'm going to give it everything I have. You know, I worked as hard as I could for this moment, and there's not another team I'd want to play for besides the Jets. So I'm going to give it everything I have, and we're going to be a special team, baby. We're going for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Jets fans love to hear that. Zach will be asked to turn things around quickly. They were just 2-14 last season.
With the 7th pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Penei Sewell, tackle, Oregon.
Yeah,
to come from that to where I'm at today, man, it's nothing but a blessing. Every time I reflect upon that after this moment on, it just makes me happy and puts a smile on my face and know that, man, there's more to do and more to come.
That's sports. I'm Jeff Rainier.
It is going to be a great weekend to enjoy the outdoors. Find out which parts of the Beehive State could see the warmest temperatures so far this year.
And a test-to-play protocol now in place at a local middle school after a recent outbreak of the coronavirus there. More on that coming up.
Live from Utah's news leader, Fox 13's Good Day Utah at 8 starts right now.
Now at 8, a dash cam captures a close call right here. How this Utah County Sheriff Sergeant reacted and what happened to the other driver.
It was really great to see how much support, you know, how many people. We have today over 100,000 donors. So.
Yes, support is poured in for the Navajo Nation. Hear from a woman who helped organize relief for those impacted by the pandemic.
And a former BYU quarterback has made his way to the big leagues now. How Zach Wilson's move to the NFL is being celebrated.
Man, they don't make video games the way they used to, man. Look at that, the graphics, there's so much going on, but this is also a great place to bring your family together, have some of those important conversations. Parents Empowered, Boondocks, we're having a great Friday. Come back, y'all.
Oh my gosh, Zach Wilson getting picked, you know, second in the draft. He's got quite the paycheck after just graduating college.
Right?
I mean, incredible.
It honestly, it changes lives.
Yes, it so, that kind of money, for sure.
Yes, really well, and just everything. You know, you work so hard, and you know, a lot of these players, you know, have worked so hard to get there, and they don't really come from a lot of privilege, you know, so it's a beautiful thing.
Are you telling me my plan to win the lottery is not really going to work out for me? Takes hard work,
Keep on
Dan.
playing. Keep on working at it.
I think you might have better
luck.
luck with that than the draft.
Damon, you're right. You are so
You might be onto something, Damon.
Yeah. Okay, well, we've had some high clouds out across the Salt Lake Valley this morning. They're thinning out a little bit more, and we've got plenty of sunshine, which is making for a pretty nice view of downtown Salt Lake City from the old mill camera. It's 57 right now in Salt Lake, 56 in Ogden, 51 in Provo, several degrees higher than it was yesterday. So feeling pretty good if you're just heading out to walk the dog. And looking good for the morning and evening commute. We've got a green light for both of those because the weather will be so quiet today. In fact, it'll be mostly sunny across the Salt Lake Valley the majority of the day, with the temperature climbing pretty quickly. In fact, low to mid 60s toward the tail end of the morning commute, mid 70s by lunchtime. Great weather to eat outside, upper 70s by 2 p.m., but later on we'll make it all the way back into the 80s. So we'll take a look at that coming up in just a little bit. But Danny, how about traffic? How is that shaping up?
Hey, good morning to you, Damon. For the most part, major interstates have been smooth sailing, average interstate speed, but we have had a few bumps in the road, and I'm going to take you there right now. One of those issues is prior to that Saltaire exit. This is along I-80, and we have two different crashes along I-80 at SR202. One of those is heading westbound. That right-hand shoulder is blocked. But the other one is on the other side of the interstate. It's heading eastbound, and it's off on that right shoulder and that left shoulder. And we are seeing traffic building if you're heading eastbound. So that's where we're seeing the impacts. Be prepared for some slowdowns right there. I'll be watching that one for you. Also, this one's cleared up in Springville. That right turn lane was blocked at 4th South. No problems there now. Let me give you a live look at some of our roads that drive through Salt Lake City. SR201 heading westbound along Bangerter Highway. Roads are busy, but no problems here. You're moving normal speeds. And also giving you a live look at Clearfield. We haven't had any problems in this neck of the woods all morning. I-15 southbound at 7th South looks good. Dan?
Thank you, Danny. We're following breaking news in Chandler, Arizona, where one police officer has been killed and another critically hurt after a suspect in a car theft case hit them. The two officers were struck at a car dealership where he had run from a chase. He stole a car there and hit Officer Christopher Farrar, an 18-year veteran. The suspect was later arrested after a shootout. We are now seeing a spike in COVID cases among students in Utah.
Fox 13's Scott McCain has more on what the state is trying to do right now to control it. Scott, good morning.
Yeah, good morning once again, guys. And the overarching message is, look, you know, we're not out of the woods yet when it comes to the coronavirus. And this coming into focus after there was a recent outbreak at Elk Ridge Middle School. And now the students there in the Test to Play program, Test to Stay program. And this after County Health Department officials conducting multiple tests there, 78 tests in all. And when those came back, they found 26 new positive cases. Many of those positive results coming from students who were involved in a school musical. So now the Test to Play protocol with more than 30 total cases, that's in play right now. Stricter policies trying to keep these kids in school as safely as possible. And, you know, local health leaders say most kids who are getting sick, they're too young right now to get the vaccine the way things are currently structured. And they could be infected with one of these mutant variations of COVID-19.
This is a UK variant because of the high attack rate. We weren't seeing it this high before.
We all need to get vaccinated when we're eligible, so make your appointment today.
State is currently reaching out to high schools to give their older students access to the vaccine. And again, this is something we'll be keeping a very close eye on and bring our viewers the latest as we get additional information. But for now, we're live in Salt Lake City. Scott McCain, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Thanks, Scott. Governor Spencer Cox says Utah has reached a point where supply is starting to exceed demand for the COVID vaccine. So the state has a new strategy to get Utahns to roll up their sleeves.
We will come to you and at no cost to your organization.
To reach herd immunity, Governor Cox is now inviting community groups, churches, businesses, and others to partner with the state for mobile pop-up vaccine clinics. The governor says we'd be in a major surge right now if it weren't for Utahns who have already been vaccinated. Local health leaders are encouraging anyone 16 and older who wants a COVID vaccine to get one. Davis County Health Department says they still have more than 1,000 first dose appointments available right now, and Salt Lake County has 20,000 doses for use next week at the Mountain America Expo Center in Sandy and the Maverick Center in West Valley City. Starting Monday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., you'll be able to walk in at the Expo Center for a vaccine, no appointment needed.
The latest numbers show that there are 463 new cases of COVID in Utah. The state is also reporting 7 more deaths. They all happened before April 1st. Our 7-day positivity rate is 6.5%.
On the Navajo Nation, our people endure a lot of challenges. It wasn't a matter of if COVID would reach our nation, it was a matter of when.
That Verizon ad aired during the Oscars and featured a woman from the Navajo Nation who has been on the front lines providing relief to those impacted by COVID.
Tamara Vaifanua caught up with her to learn more about her mission, and she joins us live now with more on that story. It is quite the story. Hi, Tamara.
Hi, Carrie and Dan. Shandine Herrera, she grew up in the Monument Valley, and after graduating from Duke University, she returned home to work at a community chapter house as part of a fellowship. But when the pandemic hit, everything shut down, and families weren't able to access food and other resources from their chapter house. So that's when Herrera and 11 Indigenous women created the Navajo and Hopi Families COVID-19 Relief Fund. So far, they've distributed food and PPE supplies to 85,000 people with the help of 100,000 donors.
Our goal was if we could, raise some money, we could buy groceries, we could, serve our most vulnerable, so our elders, immunocompromised, struggling families, then they could have a better chance of staying home and staying safe. They won't have to go to the border towns where we were seeing high infection rates. Within 24 hours, we had raised $50,000, and within 4 days, we raised $100,000. And every day, it just kept increasing.
In Monument Valley, nearly 45% of homes do not have running water, so Herrera and her team provided 135 portable hand washing sinks to families on the Navajo and Hopi Nations. Now, with 1,200 lives lost to COVID, Herrera is hopeful her community can heal. She is seeing some signs of hope. We'll have more of my conversation with her about that coming up in the 9 o'clock hour. For now, though, we are live in Salt Lake City. Tamara Vaifanua, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Thanks, Tamara. As COVID cases surge in India and hospitals are running short on oxygen tanks, the Navajo Nation is trying to help where they can. They're sending personal protective equipment to India. The president of the Navajo Nation says they received international relief when their cases were at an all-time high, and now they want to pay it forward.
It's not just about, receiving here on the Navajo Nation. We do have a stockpile of homemade masks that were donated as well as what we made. And so what we're doing is packaging that up, and we're going to send it to our brothers and sisters in India because they're getting hit hard, and we really know how it feels to get hit hard.
The country of India also has shortages in drugs and vaccines.
Utah Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson says the Navajo Nation's infrastructure needs work. She met with leaders there yesterday and caravanned to Paiute Mesa. Henderson says a 30-mile ride round trip took them almost 4 hours, adding that the people near Navajo Mountain need better roads on top of power and running water.
Layton police are investigating a crash between a semi-truck and an SUV. The department says that 3 other vehicles were caught in the aftermath for a total of 5 vehicles involved. The SUV driver is now in serious condition but considered stable. Everyone involved was wearing a seatbelt. Police say impairment is not suspected at this time.
You are watching dash cam video from a Utah County Sheriff's Office sergeant showing the moment that driver lost control and hit the patrol car. It happened in Cedar Fort Wednesday night. The Sheriff's Office says the driver was booked into jail on DUI charges. A St. George dispatcher is being awarded after she helped save someone's life while on a bike ride in Snake Hollow. A nearby rider crashed, suffering a serious cut on his thigh near the femoral artery. Now, Heather Hallman immediately applied pressure to the wound and contacted emergency services. rendering aid for 15 minutes. Her heroic actions have earned her the life-saving award. Good job.
A big game for the Utah Jazz tonight as they take on the Phoenix Suns to determine who's the best in the West. It'll be a big test since the Jazz will be without stars Donovan Mitchell due to a right ankle sprain and Mike Conley because of a hammy injury. The Jazz are currently leading in the Western Conference standings with a 45-17 record. They're ahead by the Suns by only a game. Phoenix is sitting at 44-18. Tonight's game tips off in Arizona at 8 o'clock. Jazz can do it. They're on a
Crossing
roll.
our fingers. Yep. BYU Zach Wilson, he did it. He's moving on to the NFL. Oh, he's such a happy and lucky guy. A muralist named Alj, who's also a Cougars fan himself, has been busy working on a mural of Wilson in Provo this past week. Now it's on East Center Street between Good Move Cafe and Guru's. Now the finishing touches include the Jets jersey.
It took me 2 days for black and white, and then I should be done with the with all the green tonight. It's pretty much just tracing where everything was.
Quite the mural, right? He did a good job. Alj says he used between 15 and 20 cans of spray paint for the mural. He says it should stay up for a couple of months, so make sure you stop by and get your picture taken with Zach Wilson. Looking larger than life.
Yes, and that really looks like him. Hey, good morning, everyone. Coming up after the break, Kate Middleton broke tradition when it came to her wedding cake. Her cake maker is now spilling the details, and I'm breaking it down for you. Plus, in today's Totally Random poll, we want to know if you think a good old hot dog is considered a sandwich. Your results are coming up next.
Oh yeah, you see what I'm wearing, you already know. I'm gonna show you why Dan Evans gave me the nickname Boodalicious. Oh yeah, laser tag, let's go.
That might be a little bit too much information, I'm not sure. Well, it's 57 degrees in Salt Lake City. Great start to the day. It is the last day of April, and it's going to be a warm one with high temperature in the low 80s in Salt Lake City. Coming up after the break, though, we'll talk about the chance of some records being set and a cold front that's on the way that'll knock the temperature back down by the early part of next week.
It is time to connect this morning.
All right, what you got, Danny?
This is cool. A 6-engine jet with what's believed to be the world's longest wingspan flew over the Mojave Desert in Southern California. This is the second test flight for this giant Stratolaunch plane. Stratolaunch called its journey a complete success. Look at that thing. The plane has a wingspan of 385 feet. It was developed by Microsoft co-founder Paul Allen, who wanted to use it for space launches. It has since changed ownership and will now be used to launch research planes that aim to move faster than the speed of sound.
That's amazing. I was just thinking that, you know, you could have like an adult side and a kid side.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like put all the kids on that side. We'll get some sleep over here and relax on the plane. And
so smart,
these guys
Dan.
can have Pikachu, you know, and Mickey Mouse keeping them entertained the whole flight.
Except I feel like that side of the plane would be on fire or something would happen. Like, we need this to be supervised. Yeah, that thing is really cool. Okay, let's see what else is trending this morning. So Kate Middleton broke tradition when it came to her royal wedding cake. 10 years ago when she got married to Prince William, her cake designer is spilling the beans, and she said it's very clear she didn't want the cake to be as tall as some of the past royal wedding cakes. It was still 8-tiered, reaching 3 feet tall, which is still pretty tall in my eyes. But for example, the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh had a 9-foot tall cake that weighed 500 pounds when they got married in 1948. So this was a big change. There were some other requests. She ditched royal icing for the softer kind, and it was also a fruit cake. I think many of them are fruit cakes. I don't like fruit cake.
Well, they last a long
Are
time.
you calling them something bad, Danny?
No. Oh, wait, did
the
I
Royals, they're all a bunch of fruit cakes.
I meant to say.
No, I know. I'm just kidding with you.
But, you know, it does last a long
It
time.
lasts forever, and that's what you do, you know? I mean, you keep on eating it, right?
I mean, her
Isn't it
cake.
tradition to eat it after, like a year after?
Yeah, is that when you're supposed to? A
and
year?
then you store it, you know, they're fancy cakes.
Well, they just had a slice of it to celebrate something in 2018, so it's lasted for like 8 years. I don't know if I would trust that, but
Yeah.
hey.
Maybe that's what kept the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh going so long.
Exactly. Hey, let's take a look at today's totally random poll. We want to know at home, do you think hot dogs are considered sandwiches? You can see most Utahns say no, 81% of them, 19% say yes. Okay, so we've had some interesting responses. We had Ruth say no, and just for the record, a hamburger is not a sandwich either. I don't care what the dictionary says. And then Craig had a very good point. They are just sideways sandwiches.
Director Craig, yeah.
Oh, this isn't Director Craig. This is
a different
Craig.
Oh,
hello, Craig out there.
Okay.
Yeah, sideways sandwich is a nice way to look at it. I still don't think it's a sandwich.
Okay. Well, then I won't tease just Craig. I would tease Director Craig.
Okay, so I need to know how Budah got the name Budalicious from Dan.
Well,
apparently.
actually, you know, it was this one time.
How dare you?
This one time, I was tossing out to Big Booty instead of Big Buddha. And then it turned into Budalicious.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah,
it's such a beautiful name to call him.
Now he's upset about something.
He does.
B.
What's going on?
Heard me. Hot dog is a meal. Don't you ever talk
yeah,
bad
he's
about
still mad.
I'm sorry. I'm going off on this tangent. Sorry, my bad. Okay, anyway, we're back here. Alisa's here with us. Now I'm a little confused, right? We're talking about Parents Empowered, but you don't actually work for Parents Empowered.
No, I'm with Davis Behavioral Health, and I run the Layton CTC.
So is it a partnership with Parents Empowered? Or
yeah.
You guys are going out preaching the Parents Empowered gospel, so to speak?
Yeah, we really believe in the Parents Empowered campaign, and so we think it's super important to share that message and share the campaign.
It aligns right along with the mission that you guys have.
Exactly, yeah, protecting youth.
Talk about some of those things, right? We're here because Boondocks has all these great activities that families can utilize to get this thing that you got. Bonding time. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's really important to spend at least 10 to 15 minutes a day with your kid. And when you go to set boundaries, that's where you're going to be able to have that relationship where they're more likely to follow those boundaries.
But see, you bring up an interesting point. You have to set boundaries in order for there to be boundaries, right? If you never set boundaries, then there's really no organization.
Exactly, yeah. You've got to be clear about where you stand as a parent when it comes to underage drinking. You got to communicate the risks of drinking underage and what the effects it can have on your brain. And kids really get that. A lot of parents think that if you don't explain the risks, that's, just say no. But they really like when you explain risks and the reason why.
Give me some help for parents. We come here to these places, right? These are designed to help us have bonding time. How do I transition that from Boondocks to home so that I can have conversations with them at my house? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I mean, just here, you just enjoy what they're doing, create that relationship. Then when you get home, when they're going out, that's when you ask the 5 W's.
So continue to do it. Right? Don't just have fun at these recreation places. Try to keep the fun and take it with you home is what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, we really stress the importance of eating meals together as a family. So it's really just that continued constant communication with your kids.
Let's give out your website because you guys are doing such a great job, and there's a lot of people out there that could really use some help, or even just looking for information.
Yeah, so parentsempowered.org, you can find them at the website or go to the Facebook page, Parents Empowered, or Communities That Care, your local coalition also has some great